This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealer.
Hi everybody, one of the things I like best about fishing in the spring in our four-state region is that all the fish species get spaced out on their spawn. Here's what I'm talking about. Now what I really need to describe this is my whiteboard and my magic marker, but since I don't have that, let's give it a try anyway. First, the white bass move up into the creeks and rivers and they spawn. When that spawn begins to tail off, the largemouth bass pick up. They spawn when it peaks and starts downhill like it is right now. The next fish to come in behind them are the crappie. They will spawn, and when they're done, the catfish will move up and do their thing. Right now, we are at the peak of some of the best crappie fishing anywhere at any time around our region. On this week's episode, we'll be talking about how and where you can catch a fish basket full this coming weekend. And while I'm out on the lake doing that, you're going around our four-state region for your latest fishing and lake reports. From Gary Dollahan up in the state of Oklahoma, Bill Olson down on the Texas Gulf Coast with the saltwater report, Brian Hughes with freshwater fishing in Texas, Cajun Phil and Kevin in Louisiana. On this week's Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, I'll show you a hot hybrid striper lake in East Texas. Also on this week's Big Catch of the Week, we'll show you a giant smallmouth bass from Texoma. And coming up on Barry's Reel Fishing, a unique way to catch white bass. So we've got an action-packed half hour coming up. Let's get it all started with Heather and this week's Chevy Weekend Planner.
According to the Saloon tables, the best opportunity to find active fish this weekend will be in the mid-afternoon. Peak times will be from 2:40 to 4:40 on Saturday and from 3:40 to 5:40 on Sunday. The sun will rise at 6:40 in the morning and set around 8:10 p.m. We just had a full moon on Wednesday, so it will still be 88% illuminated this weekend. Now let's get you back to Barry.
Thanks, Heather. As you can see, we're out on the lake right now, and I've pulled back up into the back of a little small feeder creek. Those are the areas you want to concentrate on this time of the year, and we'll talk more about that. When I go crappie fishing here in the springtime, I usually put together two different kinds of rigs. Let me show you the difference. First one is a slip cork rig. It consists of a little 3/16 ounce Mo-Glow head. That's a little Bobby Garland crappie jig. And above that, I've got a slip cork, and it slides up to a little bead. I've got that bead situated on my line. I stick it through, turn it around, stick it back through again, and that way I can slide it up and down my line. Now the second one is a little different. It's for fishing a little deeper. It has no bobber, no weight, no nothing. It's just a little crappie jig. But the main thing about this one is I've got it rigged on a little weedless lead head. It's got a little weed guard right there so I can work it through the brush. So what I can do with this one is actually make cast, let it go down, sink down into 5, 6, 8, 10 feet of water, work it along the bottom for those pre-spawn crappie. Two different rigs, and I'll be alternating back and forth between those all day long on a typical springtime crappie day. We'll talk more about that, and we'll get right into our fishing reports with Cajun Phil and Kevin. We'll be right back to the lake after this.
This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealer.
My bobber's going down. Got him. Oh, good crappie. Good crappie. Look at that. Easy, easy, buddy. Got him. Oh, almost didn't get him. Look at that big toad on my slip bobber, just like I showed you. By the way, I'm not going to keep crappie today. I'm just going to gently release him back. Watch him jump. What are you doing? Look at that. Oh, let me get all straightened back out here. I tell you, this one was fairly deep. As you can see, I've got that set. There's my little red bead right there. And I've got it set down about probably close to 3 feet, something like that. That's fairly deep for a spawning crappie. That could be a pre-spawner there. There's a lot of times though. In fact, I was on another lake in North Texas, way up north, and I was catching them about that deep, about 18 inches. So you've got to vary that depth. Try to figure out what depth the crappie are at. Let's go check in on all the Louisiana fishing reports down along the coast and across the entire state. Here's Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox, Louisiana fishing report. I tell you what, I want to talk about the Atchafalaya Basin. Right now the Atchafalaya is really hot. Water's cleared up, a little low right now, but you know what? They're catching brim, white perch, and bass. For the bass, what they're throwing is small crankbaits or small spinner baits. As far as the white perch, they're just going down the bank, fishing the cypress trees, fishing anywhere where you see cypress knees coming up, and they're catching lots of pretty nice white perch there. Over there, they call them crappie. They also catching lots of big bull brim, chickapin, and bluegills. Keep in mind, if you want chickapins, they're using live worm. If you want bluegill, they're actually using crickets. So right now, the Atchafalaya Basin is pretty hot. Tell you what, Captain Kevin just gave me a call, said he was headed in. Let's go to the dock right now and see what he's got.
Right now, saltwater fishing is taking off all along the coast. Lots of redfish, lots of trout. When the wind doesn't blow, there's limits of trout under the birds. Soft plastic, saltwater assassin on a 1/4 or 1/8 ounce jig head. A lot of shrimp coming in this time of the year. The fish are really out there feeding, the wind laid down. Basically, look for the gulls, run up towards them, stop a little ways back, drop the troll motor in, ease up on them. Like I said, lots of trout, lots of redfish.
When the sun goes down, you can still catch some fish. In fact, the last 30 minutes before dark can be the best time of the day. Watch this. Got it. These are white bass, it looks like out here, but the largemouth bass, the smallmouth bass, the white bass will all go crazy sometimes right the last few minutes before pitch dark. There you go, look at them. Got it. Oh, there we go. Why do these fish turn on and feed so late right before dark? The #1 reason, low light level. They're less intimidated. They'll come up to the surface late in the day when they won't come up here any other time. Look at this big boy right here. Yeah, this is what can happen. If you'll stay a little bit later, you can get bit just like that. What a lot of fun. My #1 low light level bait is a topwater chugger. It's got a concave mouth right in the front. It grabs water and pops it along, creates a lot of commotion, a lot of noise, and the fish can't resist it. There he is. There we go. That's one of the good ones. You fish all day, you don't do very well, and you leave too early, and you don't wait out that last part of the day, and you can miss the best fishing of the whole day right at the end. And the other reason that the fish will bite better right before dark is that they're less intimidated by the boat, the trolling motor, and noise. When the light level is low, they can't see nearly as well. They'll bite anyway. Hey, wait till that sun goes down, catch you some fish.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life, by Navionics, we start where the road ends, by Whataburger, just like you like it, and by Mercury Outboards, #1 on the water.